Hmm. Oh. Oh. मॅडम शेअर स्क्रीन ते परमिशन देऊन द्या, आपण चेक
हो सर.
करून
हो
घेऊ.
हो हो दिलेली आहे सर. प्लीज करून बघा.
हो दिली सर दिली.
दिली आहे सर. करून बघा शेअरिंग.
ओके ओके मॅडम. ओके या. Madam, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Archana madam. Archana madam.
Hello.
Archana madam, mic mute करा. Yes. Sir, shall we start?
Yes, madam, I am ready. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that meanwhile participants, they will join us because sir, we have received 329 registrations.
Right.
Such a huge response. So I'm waiting for actually more number of participants to join. But if you allow me, if you are saying, then we can start, and meanwhile they will join us.
Or let us wait for another 2-3 minutes. Probably sometimes those 2-3 minutes, many people try to join.
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
can wait. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir, as you say.
नहीं. Sir, should we start?
Yes, madam. Let us.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. So very good morning, one and all present in this Zoom meeting for this national webinar. First of all, I would like to welcome our today's guest speaker, respected Professor Ananta Marathe, sir. Sir, very, very warm welcome to you on the behalf of UGC HRDC. Rather, it is now Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center to this particular national webinar. And I also welcome all teacher participants who have joined to this Zoom meeting and HRDC staff also. So once again, a very, very warm welcome to one and all. And we are starting our webinar. So as I have mentioned, we have with us Professor Anant Marathe sir, and it's my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Professor Marathe sir. He has a very huge experience in the field of higher education, and that is 42 years as a principal and professor in various engineering colleges. And even after such a long service of 42 years, still after his superannuation, sir is still serving to the higher education, specifically for the guidance regarding NEP 2020. He has done excellent research in the field of waste management, renewable and non-conventional sources of energy, environment science, etc. And he has 5 patents at his credit. He has many awards and achievements at his credit. Let me highlight few. He has been nominated for National Award for Innovations by Confederation of Indian Industries, New Delhi. Then he has been awarded Distinguished Principal Award by Computer Society of India, TechNext 2017 at IIT Mumbai. He was awarded Vasundhara Mitra Award by Nature Conservation Society Amravati and Satpura Foundation Amravati in Kirloskar Vasundhara International Film Festival. He was awarded by Excellence Award in Publication category by Rub-Plast Organizing Committee, Mumbai. Then he has been awarded with the Excellence Award in Paper Presentation in International Conference on Plastic Waste Management and Environment at New Delhi. So he is also, he was also member of many academic councils, academic societies, bodies, etc. And as many of from our teacher fraternity, they knows him very well, and his guidance and his sessions also. That's why we are getting always, sir, a huge response when we are declaring that webinar will be conducted by our or the guest speaker is Professor Marathe sir. So now, without wasting much more time, first of all, I would like to thank him. Sir, my sincere thanks to you, as I know even after superannuation, you have very busy schedule for the academic business. But in spite of these things, sir has accepted, and today he is guiding all of us regarding the topic curriculum and credit framework for UG programs. Once again, thank you so much, sir. And now I request him to please take the charge of this session. Sir, please.
Thank you, madam. At the outset, please accept my sincere thanks, Varsha Kumar madam, for always showing faith and trust on me to interact with our colleagues. I am also thankful to our UGC HRDC or Malviya Mission, particularly for today's webinar. Atik sir, our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Vadegaonkar sir, our Vice Chancellor, and all staff of our UGC HRDC, always encouraging me before really beginning my session. I really, ma'am, do not know the way you appreciate me. It is our whatever we have done, it is teacher's duty only. But still, I express my sincere thanks. And I also express my thanks to all participants. And let us begin with our interaction on particularly credit and curriculum and credit framework for UG program. It will be mainly based on NEP, that is National Education Policy. So 2020, our interactive session I wish to have in 3 parts. First part will be about curriculum framework, that is National Higher Education Curriculum Framework, which Government of India, UGC and all our regularity bodies have already accepted as, you can say, execution or implementation of National Education Policy 2020. National Credit Framework, that is also part of, you can say, any implementation of NEP 2020. Then LOCF, Learning Outcome Credit, you can say, framework for undergraduate program. And with the fourth part will be one small example, which is our implementation of this curriculum or credit framework is the based on outcome-based education. So one example we will take to understand whatever these policy documents are already there, if they are being implemented, how to implement one small example we will also take. So in these 3 or 4 parts, we will have discussion. As all of us know that after wonderful draft of National Education Policy by the committee headed by none other than Dr. Kasturi Rangan sir, ex-ISRO chairman, and having all accomplished academicians, they have studied very well our system, need of the time, what is required as per various international agreements. We know that NEP has got much impact on many of the international agreements, and it's a part of a globalization process also. So Washington Accord, Sydney Accord, Berlin Declaration, so Johannesburg Declaration, Declaration on Sustainable Development. So all those accords also we find that they are reflected in the policy which we call is that National Education Policy 2020. And this credit framework or outcome-based framework, all this qualification descriptor and framework, these terminology are as per various accords. So Indian higher education system will also be following the same path. So it is very much necessary for all stakeholders, particularly with the teachers of higher education, to understand this policy framework on which the implementation of NEP will be done in various states of our country. We all of us know that NEP is based on 5 pillars: access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. And out of that, quality mainly today our topic is mainly related with quality and world standard, you can say standardization of our higher education. So we will have to understand this important pillar of NEP. Now,
Sir,
yeah,
sir, excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir,
yes.
slides are not moving. Sir.
Oh, just I will again check it up.
Okay, sir.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Sir, visible, but slides are not moving.
Slides
show.
are not moving. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, second slide. Sir, please. Yes, it's okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So our pillars is one important pillar of NEP is quality, and our today's topic is mainly concerned with 2 aspects of this pillar. One is quality, and of course, part of a globalization. So standardization of Indian education system, making it at par with quality standards of the world. So this is the pillar on which our today's topic is there. The NEP vision is based on various, you can say, present shortcomings in our education system. But I have taken only 3 major part of vision which are relevant for our today's discussion. The vision very clearly talks about overhauling and re-energizing of higher education system, high quality, you can say higher education with equity inclusion. So obviously, having large multiple disciplinary universities and colleges, medium of instruction in local Indian languages, those are basically for equity and inclusion. But multidisciplinary undergraduate education, and most importantly for our today's discussion, the relevant vision part of our NEP 2020 is revamping curriculum, teaching methodologies, learning methodologies, assessment, and student support for enhanced student experiences. So this experiential learning is the focal point, and from that angle, our curriculum will be revamped and we have to redesign. Why we should understand when we talk about new curriculum or qualification framework, it is the guiding pillar as given in NEP is making learning environment and student support more student centric. So our focus will be in new education policy implementation will be towards student centric, and the learning environment will be guided by National Higher Education Qualification Framework, which is called as NHEQF, which is based on National Skill Qualification Framework, which was already in existence, and it is at par with international standards, and it is decided in consultation with international level organization. So one thing we will understand that all you can say the curriculum framework or qualification framework or outcome based you can say education will be based on this concept of NEP, providing learning environment and student support according to these four pillars. Now coming to our main part, that is the first part, what is curriculum framework, then we will go to credit framework, and then we will go to outcome based education, and last will be one example. So in this case, we will be talking about curriculum design. We will find that curriculum design is based on the policy of choice-based credit system, multi-entry, multi-exit, blended learning, offering about 40% courses online, provision of various verticals in the system, and making 4 years undergraduate program, providing honors with research, such type of provisions. So let us go into the first part to understand the curriculum domain on which this you can say curriculum framework is based. Friends, let us understand that this document very clearly highlights that total education system, let it from pre-primary level to postgraduate level, our whole education system covers mainly the three domains. We will be concentrating on higher education part of it, but before understanding curriculum and credit framework, we have to understand fundamental part of it, that complete education you will find is classified into three domains: cognitive, that is knowledge and understanding domain; psychomotor, that is various types of skill domain; and affective, what we call it as behavior, and you can say our constitutional value system, three domains. So curriculum design is also the fundamentals of what they call it as graduate attributes or program outcome, whatever name we call it. You will find that it covers three aspects: knowledge, understanding, skill, attitude, and behavior. And based on these three, 12 to 18 various POs they have found out. Now let us understand what is expected in each of these domains. So first domain is cognitive domain, and cognitive domain you will find that it is also divided into 6 various levels. Knowledge, that is generally what we call it as memorizing it. Of course, knowledge is fundamental. We cannot say it is lower level, but memorizing part of it, then understanding part of it, application part of it, analysis, synthesis, and finally evaluation. This is the way in ascending order the cognitive domain or thinking or knowledge domain will go. Why we have to understand and keep this in mind for our future discussion is that finally our complete higher education is divided later on, you will find, in various levels. So from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And each level is, you can say, attached with mapped with certain qualification and qualification description and expected outcome. So since expected outcome will depend upon the level in which the teaching is done or learning is done, that will depend upon whether lower level will be mainly, you will find that in first three steps of knowledge, comprehension, and application, that is understanding and applying, while higher domain, maybe of third year or fourth year or post-graduation education, you will find that our course curriculum as well as assessment will be mainly in the domains of analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So before we go for designing even syllabus, or we as a teacher imparting the teaching or for the student learning, they have to understand in which level of cognitive domain we are operating in. That is why before going for actually designing part, we should understand these three domains. Now coming to second domain, that is psychomotor domain, it is doing. For in first domain, we understand it is the more of academic stream. But here it is more of applying, doing the things, whatever we have understood, we have gathered the knowledge, we have whatever level we have gone in knowledge domain. Now we are in second domain where those domain have to be applied. We have the student, we should make student to able to do. So for that they will need skill. Here also you will find that there are 7 levels again, from perception, setting, guided response, mechanism, complete all response, adaptation to organization. Obviously, when the students are learning in first year or what is called as 4.5 level, later on we will come to that, their expectation of psychomotor domain may be lower, like perception, setting, or guided response. But as they will go into third year, final year, post-graduation, the expected doing or skilling level, accordingly the training has to be given, should be more on adaptation on organization level. So when we frame the syllabi or when we impart the syllabi, that time we have to understand the level of which level course we are teaching. Third domain is affective domain. It is about attitude and behavior, moral values. Here also, there are 5 levels: receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and internalizing. So here also we should understand this third domain also very well. And depending upon the level, we will have to design our syllabi or impart our syllabi. This will be mainly in the domain of value system of the student, in the way of their attitude, their cross-cultural sensitization, their teamwork, their being a member of a team or a lead of a team, what type of feeling, attitude, behavior is expected. That is what we have to understand when we design the curriculum for 3 domains. Now, one thing take away from our first 3 things is our whole curriculum or syllabus then will have 3 components. It will be cognitive component, it will have skill component, and it will have affective component. In each of the domain, we will have various levels, and according to this, our curriculum design and syllabus design will be dictated. So it will be from it has taken from Bloom's taxonomy only. So whole world will be following this Bloom's taxonomy. At least in India, let us see that from remembering to creating. So this is how we have to now set our syllabus, teaching, learning, as well as assessment. You will find that basically up till now, we were operating in the domain of remembering, understanding, or at the most applying. But henceforth, when NEP will be implemented, we will be operating for higher classes, analyzing, evaluating, and synthesis or creating. That domain will be more we will be operating. So our syllabus framing will get accordingly changed. Now, next part is our outcome-based education. So let us understand now the second important part on which our curriculum planning and development has to be done. It is now completely on outcome-based education. So it will be, this framework is based on expected learning outcomes and academic standards that are expected to be attained by the graduate of program of study or anybody holding a typical qualification. What does it mean? It means that before we go for designing any curriculum, planning any curriculum, we will have to write what is expected from that curriculum. It is not like that first we design from our historical way and then we say that from this something will come out. No, the approach has to be first we have to design what is expected whenever we impart, whenever we issue any certificate. Let it be certificate, let it be diploma, let it be advanced diploma, let it be degree, let it be postgraduate diploma, let it be postgraduate degree, let it be PhD degree. The new first requirement as per NEP will be first decide what is expected from that certificate or what is expected from that program, and that is what they call it as program outcomes. It is also called as graduate attributes. So first thing, we will have to first design whenever we go for curriculum planning. First step will be to look into expected graduate attributes or program outcome. Second, qualification descriptors. Third, program learning outcome or program specific outcome. Then course learning outcome or course outcome. And then we have to start designing the syllabus. Program outcomes or graduate attributes are given by our statutory bodies like UGC or AICT in case of engineering or professional education. And these attributes are given by already international organizations whenever MOU has happened. In case of India, it is Sydney Accord or Washington Accord. So Washington Accord gives us what are the program outcomes or graduate attributes. What does it mean? Any graduate. So these program outcomes are, they describe what the students are expected to know and able to do upon graduating the program. As I told you, they will be related with 3 domains. Knowledge, what level of knowledge is expected. When we say that he is a graduate, what knowledge, the level of skills are expected, and what type of attitude and behavior is expected. So everything you will find will be in 3 domains, but 12 to 18 POs, program outcomes, are outlined and they are given by either UGC or AICT, and UGC and AICT has taken it from our international agreement, mainly from Washington Accord or Sydney Accord. Now here comes the globalization or standardization of education. What do these qualification descriptors or graduate attributes or program outcomes talk about? They talk about general attribute of graduate from any program. So for example, the graduate attributes of BA, graduate attributes of BCom, graduate attributes of BSc, they will be same irrespective of what you can say program university is offering. And the descriptors are also given. Some of the graduate attributes we will quickly go through. The first is the critical thinking. So capability of apply analytical thought to the knowledge, analyze, evaluate evidence, argument, claim. This is expected as an important, you can say, attribute. You will find that it has come from knowledge domain. Problem solving, analytical reasoning, again knowledge domain. Research related skills. Now this skills part will come. You will find that first 3 attributes. We found that they are from knowledge domain. Now you will find some of the attributes from skill domain. Now this is attitude or behavior, cooperation, teamwork. Scientific reasoning is from knowledge domain. Reflective thinking is from knowledge domain. Information digital literacy, it will be both in knowledge as well as skill domain. Self-directed learning is from behavior and attitude domain. Multicultural competence, very important. It is considered to be very important attribute, and it has to be given through our curriculum or through our extracurricular activities. It comes under attitude and behavior. Moral ethical awareness and reasoning, again it comes under attitude and behavior part of it. So like this, So the leadership readiness, lifelong learning, these are the attributes which are expected when we say that a student is graduate. Graduate doesn't mean only bachelor's or post. If we give certificate, then also we have to give attributes of a certificate level. If we give diploma, then also we have to very clearly specify what are the outcomes or attributes of diploma. If we say 3 years degree, we have to give attributes. If it is 4 years degree, we have to mention level of attribute. For 4-year degree, postgraduate. So for every program of any certification, first and foremost thing is we have to mention the program outcomes or graduate attributes and its qualification descriptors. Now this part is already given by UGC or our statutory body. So we do not have much flexibility to select the graduate attributes. So whether it is from X university or Y university, our graduate attributes will be common, and that is the fundamental thing in our curricular planning, framing, or even syllabus preparation. Now, next part, once we have understood what are graduate attributes and qualification descriptor, second part comes qualification framework, qualification levels, and credit framework. Now, first part is the qualification framework. So the document National Higher Education Qualification Framework, NHEQF, is already published by statutory authorities, and they give us understanding of what type of qualification framework based on graduate attributes have to be done. So let us understand some of the qualification framework. Say they have mentioned a level first thing. Now level up to 4. Complete our education, right from school education to PhD level education, is now attributed with certain level. For example, after 12th, the first year of any program, we used to call earlier as first year. Now as per NHEQF, it will be level 4.5. And that 4.5 level means undergraduate certificate. So this mapping before curriculum planning, we have to understand when I say I am framing first year syllabus. Earlier we used to say, okay, it is 3 years program and this is first year syllabus. Now that will not be sufficient. When we say it is first year, we have to know that it is level 4.5. And this level 4.5 is given at par with international level, and it is given in National Higher Education Qualification Framework level, and level 4.5 will be of first year, that is 2 semesters, and it will lead to undergraduate certificate. So if student prefers to exit from after first year, a student will be able to get undergraduate certificate. That is the meaning of level 4.5. So what does it mean? It means that our syllabi, whatever we will frame for first year, should map with the certificate level syllabi. Similarly, it is for level 5, is what generally we call it as second year. And if a student exit after second year, student will get undergraduate diploma. So it will have first 2 years. That is first year 2 semesters and 2 semesters of second year. So student would have completed 4 semesters. That is equivalent. Now 1 semester, when we will go to credit framework, we will find that 1 semester will be of minimum 20 credit. So 1 year will be of 40 credits. So when we talk about level 5, student must have earned 80 credits, and accordingly, that 80 credit will lead him to get diploma if that student prefers to leave or exit our program. Similarly, level 0.5 will be 3 years degree program, and it will be 6 semester. So it will be 120 credit. Level 6 will be 4-year undergraduate program, honors or honors with research, or for professional education, it will be again level 6, but for professional education, it will be 8 semester. Level 6 or 4 years undergraduate program will be postgraduate diploma. So 4th year and first year of postgraduate are almost equivalent. And if the student prefers to leave in first year of post-graduation, after 3 years graduation, student will get postgraduate diploma and he will be termed to have completed level 6. Masters will be 6.5. Master's degree in case of ME, MTech will be 7 and doctoral will be level 8. So this National Higher Education Credit Framework, we should understand, is now converted. Years are also converted into level, and levels are mapped with higher qualifications at each level. Now let us understand another important part is National Credit Framework. So we have understood, just to go 1 minute to go back, we have understood there are 3 domains. Those 3 domains are cognitive skill and you can say behavior and attitude. These are the 3 components of any level of education. Then we have understood National Higher Education Qualification Framework. For higher education, the levels are from 4.5 to level 8. Level 4 is 12th standard. And for each level, some qualification, that is certificate, diploma, degree, honors, honors with research, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate degree, and research degree. So this is its map. Now let us understand what is National Credit Framework. It is a document again published by our statutory bodies, and we should understand before actually planning or implementing the curricular framework. We should understand not only NHEQF, but we should also understand National Credit Framework. So what this credit is talked about. So this National Credit Framework and NHEQF, considering NHEQF guideline, it is proposed. Now it is accepted, not by proposed, that number of credits per year of 1200 learning hours will be 40. What does it mean? A student, you see, credits are linked with learning and assessment. If a student learns for 1200 hours in an year, it will be considered to be a student has earned 40 credits. So if we divide it in 2 semesters, every semester will have 20 credit. It means 600 hours of learning hours. So when we will design our curriculum, when we design it for semester-wise, our teaching learning schemes, we have to ensure that we impart 600 hours of learning minimum, so that after learning for 600 hours, the student will be able to get 20 credit. So 1 year means 1200 learning, and it will entail him to earn 40 credit. So earlier student, when credit system was not there, they have to absorb into credit-based system. So their learning hours will be measured, and according to learning hours, the credits will be all allotted to them, and they will be, you can say, absorbed in the new scheme of credit framework if somebody, old student, wants to join. In case of NEP, those who may not have undertaken education in formal, you can say, college or school, still their learning level is expected to be assessed. And according to their experience, they are working, that level and learning hours will be counted, and so many credits will be given to a student who probably have not joined any formal education stream. But it will be possible to include, see, equity and inclusion is the foundation of NEP. So this inclusion and access, this is taken care of. One example I will give. Many times we find that many young people work in garage or some workshop. They do not, they have exited from schooling or from colleges. Somebody has worked in some industry, somebody has worked in some hotels, somebody has worked in workshop. NEP expects that there will be, you can say, mechanism to assess their learning. How many hours through experiential learning they have learned, what is the level of their learning through some assessment. Accordingly, credits will be allotted to them, and on the basis of those credit, those who have left the formal education can be reabsorbed into formal education system. So this is important understanding for all of us, because tomorrow, for young teachers particularly, you may find that government may come out with the regulations wherein those who have not formally passed 12, probably they may be allowed to join even higher education based on their experiential learning, and the credits will be given to them and level will be given to them. So this is the credit basis of national hours and credit assignment. Even beyond the course syllabus, additional credits will be expected to be earned by the learner, and accordingly, those credits will be accommodated for. So this is the first part of credit framework. The credit framework is based on basic principle that credits are the function of achieving desired learning outcome for a program, course, training determined by successful assessment. So two things are important when we talk about credit work is the successful assessment, and second is hours of formal learning. So hours of formal learning or informal learning or experiential learning or training, so everything will be creditized, and will be based on only assessment. Nobody can claim that I have learned, but if he has not been successful in assessment, those credit will not be allotted. What does it mean? If student learns for a subject throughout semester, but in examination, the student does not pass, then credit will not be given, even though learning has happened. So assessment is important ingredient of earning the credit. What does credit mean? Everybody of us probably will be knowing it is the standard methodology of 1 hour of theory or 1 hour of tutorial or 2 hours of laboratory practical or fieldwork per week for a duration of semester will result in award of 1 credit. What does it mean? In our teaching learning scheme, we give LTP, that a student will learn 3 hours of a subject in 1 week. Then we consider it that every semester is of 15 weeks. So a student, if he learns 3 hours in week, it means he learns 3 into 15, 45 hours in a semester. So that 45 divided by 15 weeks, again it comes out to be 3. So generally, 1 week learning becomes equal to 1 credit. So this is how, if a student learns for 3 hours, then we say that, okay, it is a 3 credit course. If there are 4 hours given per week for a certain subject, we say that it is 4 credit course. For practical, if 2 hours are given, then 2 hours is equal to 1 credit. This is how credits are calculated. This is internationally accepted standard method of calculating the credits. The major dimensions, I will just give the gist of major dimensions of National Credit Framework. So it will have the components or dimensions of learning, all 3 dimensions. Maybe credits earned by virtue of academic education, credits earned by training and skilling, and credits earned by relevant experience, proficiency, or professional levels. So whatever way, all the 3 domains. So everything and anything which students does in institution or beyond institution, which results into either academic learning or experiential learning, maybe through academic or through training or through internship or through skilling or through participation in co-curricular, extracurricular, everything will be creditized, and the components of credit will be based on all these 3 domains. Now, depending upon that, you will find that the verticals of NEP for UG curriculum will be, now we are coming slowly, how the curriculum is to be planned and designed. So we have to understand that since creditization is from all the 3 domains, and all the three components are there. So verticals of our UG curriculum will have major, minor subject or core or elective, courses on Indian knowledge system. Then these are, you can call it as the cognitive domain. Then internship, field-based learning, practices, then vocational and skill advancement. So this is rotomotors, that is our skill domain. Or you can say languages, communication skills, value ethics, life skill, co-curricular, extracurricular. There is nothing like extracurricular, in fact, in any field. Everything is co-curricular. So this third domain also. So all verticals and components must be integrated in designing new curriculum and syllabus when we will design as per NEP. So as just summarizing, for every 1200 hours of learning, students will earn 40 credits, and students, this credit will be learning as well as assessment. From credits points are calculated depending upon the level. So NSCRF level, that will give you the weightage factor. Say for example, a student of 4.5 level, a student learns 1 year of 1200 hours. A student will get undergraduate certificate because he has learned and got assessed for 1200 hours in a year. So he will earn 40 credits. Level is 4.5. So his credit points will be 180. So for undergraduate diploma, it will be 200. For bachelor's degree, credit point will be 220. Honors, it will be 240. Like that, credit point, credits, and total credit per year and hours, we will find that 1200 hours in a year means 40 credit. So per year, the credit you will find 40, but level will change as we'll go from certificate to postgraduate. Now, next part of our important, you can say basic understanding is learning outcome-based curriculum framework. Now, just revising, we have understood domain, we have understood National Higher Education qualification framework, we have understood, you can say, what are program objectives or graduate attributes. We have understood levels from 4.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, like this. Depending upon first year means certificate, second year diploma, so level will go on increasing. Then we have understood credit framework. 1200 hours means 40, you can say, credit. A student has to earn 40 credits per year. It will make him to earn work for 1200 learnings, hours of learning. Depending upon the level, he will earn the credit point. Now for outcome-based education, another important is learning outcome based on now curriculum framework. So this document is also published, accepted, and put in the public domain. So all we, the teacher, should also be aware about this LOCF concept also. You will find that this learning outcomes, again, it is based on outcome-based education. As we have been discussing in today's session, the higher education will again have three components: cognitive, that is knowledge, understanding domain; psychomotor, that is skill domain; and affective domain, that is behavior and attitude. So learning outcomes will also be based on this domain. Let us take what are the learning outcome for first domain, that is cognitive, that is knowledge and understanding domain. You will find that there are, if we consider summarize, we have summarized it in all the 3 years, that is level 4.5, what we call it as first year of 3 years degree program. Here, this first year will be called as level 4.5, and completion of level 4.5 will enable the student to get undergraduate certificate. Level 5 will be undergraduate program, what we call it as second year, and level 5.5 is our third year, and it will enable the student to earn bachelor's degree. So what is the learning outcome for various levels? We are talking about knowledge and understanding domain. You will find that for each level and each qualification descriptor, the graduate, what is expected to demonstrate is very clearly given in this learning outcome curriculum framework document, LOCF document. I will not read it, it is given in the screen, but you will find that knowledge component of certificate level, that is level 4.5, talks about fundamental facts, concepts, and principal theories and processes, while in case of diploma level, you will find theoretical, technical in broad sense in the chosen field. And in case of bachelor degree, this knowledge component will be of higher level, comprehension, factual, theoretical, and specialized knowledge also. As we go to the second part of our knowledge and understanding, it will be understanding of the linkages between learning areas across the chosen field. In case of diploma, it will be the deeper, you can say, knowledge and understanding. While in case of bachelor degree, it will not be only deeper. So depth as well as width is also increased, and in the current emerging issues are also expected. In case of undergraduate, you will find procedural knowledge required for performing skill job, while in case of diploma, it will be for performing skilled along with the some task associated it. While in case of degree, you will find procedural knowledge along with the advanced part of the, you can say, implementation. So this is how the levels will go on even in case of knowledge and understanding. What is the takeaway for us? That when we will design syllabi for first year, we have to understand the breadth and depth, what is expected as per this LOCF. If we design for second year, what is expected? When we will design the syllabus for third year, what is expected? So first year will be probably introductory. In second year, it will be intermediate. And in case of third year, it will be the advanced knowledge. So when we will design syllabus, or if some subject I am teaching to first year or second year or third year, I should understand what is the level expected. Accordingly, I must understand that Bloom's complete 7 levels also. And depending upon the, you can say, description of learning outcomes at various levels, now I have to design curriculum, I have to design syllabus, and also I have to impart education or teaching depending upon the level at which or learning outcomes expected from this document. Now, if I come to second level, that is psychomotor or skills domain level, here also the level for first year, that is undergraduate certificate, level 4.5 are different. Level 4.5, it will be different. Level 5.5, that is degree, it will be different. So if I come to application of knowledge and skills, in case of certificate, you will find it will be operational level. While in case of diploma, you will find specialized level. While in case of, you can say, bachelor's degree, it will be not only specialized, but even advanced level of application the student is expected to perform. So even level of skills. So if we go to, again, Bloom's taxonomy, rotomotor skills, 5 levels are given. So depending upon in that pyramid, at what level I am making the syllabus, at what level I am teaching the, you can say, skill, training the student to acquire the skill, that should be kept in mind. This qualification descriptor and credit framework, LOCF, learning outcomes, should be kept in mind while planning, designing, and imparting education to the student. Now, again, skills required to perform the accomplished task. So, training and skills, this domain is very important. it will be different for certificate, diploma, and degree level. Then employment skills and entrepreneurship skills. So what is takeaway for this skill part? When we will design the syllabus, our canvas of training will be in all three domains. Final is from employability to self-employment. To that level, we are expected to provide the facility of training and skilling in our curriculum. The last domain for this LOCF means learning outcome based our curriculum planning is affective domain. So this is attitude and behavior. So again, depending upon whether it is first year or level 4.5 or certificate course, or second year or level 5 or undergraduate diploma course, or level 5.5, 3 years bachelor's degree course, the expectation of affective domain will also change, even though element of descriptor is same, that is constitutional, humanities, ethical, and moral values. But the level in which we are expected to frame syllabi or impart education and assess the student will remain different, even in case of affective domain also. And generic learning outcome again is that part of that. In case of certificate, you will find that we are expecting student to listen carefully, read text related to that, and they should be able to, you can say, be answerable for their own work. While in case of diploma, they will have to be a good team member, or at times they will be supervising the people and not only the part of team, but they will be middle level supervising it. But for graduate, they will be leading to team. So communication, level of communication, then level of, you can say, teamwork, everything changes as level changes. And our curriculum design, planning, you can say discharging our curriculum, framing syllabus, and assessing the student, that will, in case of this third domain also, will be different, because expected learning outcomes are different for different level. So it is very much essential for us to understand this, you can say LOCF also, learning outcome credit framework also. Now, another, you can say area which we must understand before curriculum planning or credit framework implementation is what is known as program learning outcomes. So let us revisit which type of outcomes we have talked about. First, we have talked about program outcomes, which were our graduate attributes. Then we have talked about, you can say, credit framework. We have talked about qualification framework. We have talked about, as per the qualification and learning framework, various levels. Now let us understand what is program learning outcome. Now, program outcome or graduate attributes, they were common irrespective of the program. So program outcomes or graduate attributes are common whether it is BA program, whether it is BCom program, whether it is BSc program. Those 12 to 18 POs are common for any type of graduate. Similarly, it will be common for any type of postgraduate. But program learning outcome will be specific to a given program. So we may call it as program specific outcome. So generally we call it either PLO or PSO. Difference between PO and PSO is PO are common for any type of program. So throughout the world or all the signatory countries, any graduate means those 12, 18 outcomes or attributes and certificate that, okay, when we issue a certificate, we ensure that our graduates have acquired those attributes, irrespective of the program. Now, if a student is from BA, its PSO or program learning outcome will be different. If he is from BSc, it will be different. If a student is from, you can say, BCom, it will be different. For B, it will be different. In B also from mechanical, it will be different. Computer will be different. So what is this PLO or PSO? This PLO or PSO are the statements which the student are expected to know and able to do in a specialized area of discipline upon graduation from the program. What does it mean? If a student has passed certain graduate program and when he goes to the field, real field, maybe in self-entrepreneurship or a placement somewhere, job, after 2-3 years of working in that organization, what a student is expected to do in that specialized area, those 2 to 4 program specific outcomes are to be given. From where do we know what they are expected to know? So they are from professional bodies. There are worldwide professional bodies for each of the program. So what they clearly mention what is expected in their professions. So those outcomes are to be included in our, you can say, education program when we plan for curriculum, when we design curriculum, when we design syllabus, and we impart the learning. So those specific outcomes are also to be kept in mind when we design our curriculum. Say, I will give you some 2-3 examples. Now, say BSc, you will have all those 12 attributes. But if I am making something for physics, then if my domain is of knowledge and understanding, then my PLO or PSO will be, I will write that my one of the PSO in case of first domain is demonstrate a fundamental coherent understanding of academic field of physics in its different areas like mechanics, heat, electricity, sound, its application and linkage with related disciplinary area. If I am writing for, you can say, chemistry, I will write PLO or PSO that it will be related to only chemistry and it will be principle and processes underlying academic field of chemistry and its subfield like analytical, inorganic, organic, physical and linkages with related disciplinary area. In case of PO, no mention of any specific discipline was given, but in case of PSO or PLO, we have to write what is expected or learning outcome for a given particular, you can say, specific discipline, what a student will be able to do after 3 or 4 years of graduation. This was for, say, knowledge domain. Suppose if I write for skill domain, I will write that demonstrate skills involving constructive use of knowledge in the chemistry and subfield, analytical, inorganic, organic, and in the range of setting including higher studies and chosen area of specialization. A student may go to pharmaceutical, he may go to some agrochemical. So it is expected that a graduate of chemistry, when he goes to pharmaceutical, he will be able to demonstrate a skill required in pharmaceutical chemistry. That will be the PSO or PLO for chemistry. Next is application of knowledge. Here you will find, again for physics, chemistry, we will specifically mention some of the fields of disciplinary or interdisciplinary fields related to chemistry. And we will say that student will be able to demonstrate the specific skill, will be able to use appropriate technology, will be able to use appropriate instrument, which will be required in the field when the student goes for research or in a teaching or in industry or self-employment. So these are some of the PSO. Coming to third domain, that is a generic learning or with attitude and behavior. There also communication skill. Students will be able to communicate finding of experiment related to physics. If we are writing for chemistry, similarly for critical thinking or physics, chemistry. So 3 to 4 related to the chosen branch of discipline, we have to mention PLO or PSO. So what is the takeaway for us with the teacher? So when we will design a curriculum or we will frame the syllabus, we will have to mention first what are the POs. Now POs will be common for all programs. If it is undergraduate program, irrespective whether BA, BCom, BSc, POs will be common. But when it will come to PLO or PSO, it will be specific to arts or humanities. If it is for BA, it will be specific to commerce. If it is for commerce and industry and business. If it is science, it will be for physics, for specific physics, for chemistry, for botany, it will be for botany. 3 to 4 PSOs. And what is the POs are given by UGC, or you can say world body. PSOs will be from what we expect students to perform when they join the profession after 2 to 3 years. A BSc candidate or BA candidate may go for higher studies. So what he is expected to do there in the chosen higher studies? The student may be able to go for PhD. So what he is expected to do in PhD? A student may go for job. What is expected to know or able to do when the candidate is in job, or he may go for self-employment. So what in all 3 domains, 1 or 2 PSO should be given for each domain. Since there are 3 domains, 3 to 4 PSOs or PLOs we should design when we make the curriculum. So our curriculum will have PO, our curriculum will have PLO, our curriculum will have course outcomes now. That is learning outcomes. This is related to what is expected to know, to do, or to behave by the student after learning a given course. Now, a program may be graduate program. In program, there may be, you can say, arts program, commerce program, science program. In each arts, science, commerce program, there will be levels or year, 4.5 level, 5 level, 5.5 level. So first year, second year, third year. And for each level, there will be 40 credits, 1200 hours of learning. It means 600 hours of learning in each semester. In each 600 learning, there may be 4-5 courses. So in first year may have 5 courses covering all verticals of NEP. Second semester may have all 5-6 courses. Now we are coming to what should be there in each of those 5 courses. And each 5 of the courses, when we plan the curriculum, when we design the syllabus, we have to first write, after learning this course, what the student will be able to do. That is known as course outcome. Now this course outcome will be best mapped with program outcome. What a graduate is expected to know, what are the graduate attributes. Then from that, what are the attributes for a particular domain, that is physics student, chemistry student. And from that, what a student should know, a BSc student should know in a particular course. If he undergoes 5 courses in first semester, for each of the course, we have to write 4 to 5 or 6 course outcome. Those course outcomes should be relevant to PSOs, and they should also be relevant to POs. So first POs, PSOs, now subjects, and for each subject first we have to write COs, and depending upon the CO, we have to design our curriculum. So what are these COs? The COs should be specific, measurable, realistic, appropriate, and town-bound. So the CO should be SMART. Most important and fundamental to outcome-based education. And each CO, they come from PO and PSO. Important part is CO should be designed so that it can be measured and it can be mapped with PO. So CO must be measurable CO. So these COs, you will find they will lead to attainment of 1 or more POs. Now, once we have mentioned COs, that after learning this course, students should be able to, one example we will take in our next part, last part of it. As we said that it must be assessed. Credit will be given only after successful assessment. So assessment is important part of curricular frame and credit framework, curricular as well as credit framework, COs also. Because credit will be earned not only after learning but after successful assessment. So we have to design the rubrics for assessment of each of the courses so that we should be able to map measures at CO attends, PLOs attends, and PO attend. So attainment is important in case of outcome-based education. Accordingly, curriculum framework is to be prepared, and to measure attainment, we should have proper assessment methods and proper assessment rubrics. Now, some of the methods I am mentioning, it is not only limited to what methods I am mentioning. Every teacher will have freedom to have his or her own assessment method of the subject which the teacher is imparting and the students are learning. Some of the assessment methods could be time constraint examination. Say, for example, we take an examination of 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. We take our internal assessment examination of half hour, 1 hour. So time constraint examination. There can be closed book test or open book test. There can be problem-based assignments, practical assignments, laboratory reports, observation of practical skills, observation of students in regular summative and formative. So formative is more important. It can be individual project report, case study report. It can be team project report. It can be oral presentation, including seminar, viva voce, interview, quiz. We can ask for few questions. It can be computerized adaptive testing. It can even be peer assessment. It can be even self-assessment. We can ask students for their self-assessment also. So any other approach, depending upon the context, the subject requirement, and teacher's imagination, we can decide the rubrics, but it should be very clearly mentioned. Because the way we are measuring the outcome, it should be able to be a measurable form. It cannot be only abstract. So we can use formative as well as summative. There is no restriction for it, but our rubric should be very well designed. On the basis of rubrics, we have to measure the outcome, and whatever outcomes and attainments, they have to be mapped with program outcome. This is how the overall curricular framework is made. So if I summarize in this one slide how course objectives, program objectives, or graduate attributes, or program educational objectives, or program learning outcomes, or program specific outcomes, they are all related through this chart. COs are related with POs. COs should be mapped with PSOs. POs and graduate attributes are mapped. POs are also mapped with POs and COs, and ultimately it will lead to the mission of our university, mission of our college, mission of our department, and finally it will lead to the vision of our department, our institute, or university. So this is how they are all connected with each other. And this is the fundamental principle of outcome-based education and curriculum framework and credit framework. Now let us take one small example in our, now 15 minutes are there, 10 minutes we will give for interaction also. So if we take one example, now if we go through the LOCF document given, this I have taken it from UGC document, LOCF document. My request to all participants is please go through NHUQF document, go through NSQF document, go through LOCF document. All these concepts are given. Once you understand, then we will be able to design our curriculum, plan our curriculum, design our syllabi, and execute our syllabi in that context. So for successful implementation of NEP, these are the foundation document. So let us, whatever we have discussed up till now theoretically, let us take one example of learning outcome credit framework. I have taken for one subject, that is curriculum framework for, say, BSc chemistry. Now, BSc chemistry means it is the specialization honors like a subject in chemistry. BSc can be with chemistry as one of the subject, it is multidisciplinary, or chemistry as one subject, only subject, so it becomes monodiscipline. You will find there are three types of courses which we can run. One is monodiscipline course, second is multidisciplinary course, and third is interdisciplinary course. So this example I am taking for say monodisciplinary course, that is BSc chemistry. Otherwise, it would have been framework of only BSc with chemistry as one of the subject. But I am taking example of BSc chemistry. So friends, let us understand this classification also: monodiscipline, multidiscipline, and interdiscipline. Here, one example we will be discussing is of monodiscipline. So obviously, first will be PO or graduate attribute. So first our, you can say, document when we frame or plan the curriculum for BSc chemistry will be the graduate attributes or PO. Say disciplinary knowledge and skill. So three domains you will find. So here I have written it that what is the expected PO of my graduate: skilled communicator, critical thinker, sense of inquiry. Some of the graduate attributes out of 12 to 18 POs or graduate attributes given by UGC or world bodies, Washington Accord. Out of that I have taken. So this will be our first document when we'll plan the curriculum. So lifelong learner up to lifelong ethical awareness. You will find all these POs cover all three domains which we have discussed. Now second is PSO or PLO. Now this is with specific to BSc. First one was related to program. Generally it will be common. Now it comes to specific for PSO, that is learning outcome, that is PLO or PSO. Here you will find that everywhere I have written that underlying the academic field of chemistry with different subfield: analytical, inorganic, organic, physical. Now when I mention about these four, it should be reflected in my COs, and I should find syllabus of analytical, inorganic, organic, and physical. You will find that my second PSO is my graduate will be able to, you can say, have procedural knowledge in various related fields: pharmaceutical, chemical industry, teaching, research, environmental, product quality, consumer good. Now you will find this PSO talks about wherever my graduate will be placed after graduating, he or she should be able to demonstrate the attributes which during graduation they have taken. You will find that PSO or PLO are related to the specific fields. Since I am talking about chemistry as an example, I am mentioning that my graduate will be able to demonstrate the procedural knowledge in various industries or higher education or PhD. He or she will go. After knowledge, I am talking about skill also. Second domain, that my student will be able to show the skills in related area: analytical, inorganic, physical, and other related field of study, broader disciplinary subfield, life sciences, environmental, or material sciences. See, my graduate will be working somewhere in life, environmental, or material sciences, or higher education. So I am mentioning here that skills related to that specialization area. And third domain is about, you can say, attitude and behavior. So I have mentioned academia, industry, generic skill, global competencies, knowledge skill for further studies in field of chemistry or related field, or even non-chemical sector. And he will be able, candidate will be able to do successful career in pharmaceutical, chemical, product quality, consumer good, and recognize and appreciate importance of chemical science in academic, industrial, economic, environmental, and social concept. all three domains, but these 4-5 PLOs or PSOs, you will find those are the graduates which will be able to demonstrate when they enter into the field after becoming graduate through 2-3 years after graduation. Now, next will be now PO I have mentioned, PSO or PLO I have mentioned. My next is I have to mention COs, course level learning outcome. I have taken one example, inorganic chemistry say. If I want to write or design a curriculum or syllabus for particular course of inorganic chemistry, first thing I will have to mention what are the course level learning outcomes or course outcome. See here, what I have written. After learning this course, which course? Inorganic chemistry course or coordination chemistry course, which is offered in semester 4 or semester 8. What student should be able to recognize, describe, explain, recognize, explain. So you will find these are my keywords which I have used for. See, you will find that I have not used understand. Higher level, if you go to Bloom's taxonomy, memorizing I have not used. Even understanding I have not much used. But recognize, describe, this type of terminologies only explain. One and describe, these are the two words of lower order, but recognition is of higher order learning. So I have mentioned course objective, and on the basis of this learning outcomes, then I will design the complete course of inorganic chemistry. So whatever course content I will design, I will ensure that I will put course content as role played by transition metal complexes. I will ensure that one unit will have structure and bonding theory, electronic and magnetic properties of transition metal complexes, their kinetic study. I will ensure that one of the courses, one of the units will have theories and bonding in coordination compound and their experimental behavior. One of the units will have interaction of metal ions with biological ligands. One of the units will have inorganic substances in living system and metal ions in medical therapy and diagnosis. Now, once I have made, this is what are my learning outcome, then I will design my syllabus and I will ensure that whatever outcomes I am expecting, they are given in detailing of the syllabus. Then I will mention assessment tools, how I will assess, and that is how my syllabus framing and planning will be completed. So friends, to summarize what we have done, we have first understood the basic or the foundation pillars of NEP. On the basic, two things we have understood, that quality is the one of the 5 pillars on which NEP is based. We have also understood that NEP is guided by international commitments and globalization, including Washington Accord, or you can say Sydney Accord, or Sustainable Development Accord, or Johannesburg Declaration, Berlin Declaration. So NEP is also under the conditions of globalization, and some of, because of the requirement of standardization with the other countries in the globe, the credit and curriculum framework has been framed. First is curricular framework that we have understood. We have understood the silent features of National Higher Education Qualification Framework, NHUK. We have understood NSQF. We have understood quality framework, level, and quality descriptors, what is expected at each level in all 3 domains. We have understood learning outcomes. So PO, PSO, PLO, COs. So on this basis, the curriculum, you can say framework and credit framework, we have to develop in each of our universities. So basic fundamentals of curriculum planning, curricular framework, credit framework, outcome-based education, on which our new system of framing curriculum and syllabus and assessment will come. With one example of chemistry we have understood, within a given period I tried to cover. I know it is Herculean task, we are able to do only bird's eye view. I am thankful for Madam, I am thankful to our UGC HRDC Center, thankful to our Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, and lastly but not most important, all our, you can say, fellow, those who are attending our interactive session. I express my sincere thanks. Few minutes we should keep for the discussion. Madam, whatever time you had given, I tried to be within that time. I know it is a very vast subject, but all learned people are there. Even we touch them and show some important document, I am sure they will be able to understand and they will be able to implement. Ultimately, we are going for outcome based. So what is more important is what outcome comes out of today's webinar. That is most important. So I hope that some good curriculum and syllabus will come out in each university, in each of the colleges. With this, I stop. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such an informative and a nice session, and the slide details which you have given or displayed in the form of slides. It is really helpful for all of us. Now, for all teacher participants, the session is open for question answers and any inputs if you want to give. If you have some questions or queries, you can ask, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please
I am
go ahead.
audible.
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead, sir.
Very nice and wonderful and informative session, ma'am. Sir, I want to ask some queries regarding the COs, POs, and PSOs.
Yes.
Most of the time, first of all, we bothered about the such a POs, PSOs as per the guideline and direction given from university last year, 2022-23. And one question always arises: how we produce the attainment of POs and COs? That is the question, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Attainment. Only.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Measurement of attainment. Sir, measurement of attainment
Yes,
will
sir.
be through assessment. So assessment metrics and assessment tools are the most important part in case of measurement and attainment of our COs. Now, one example I will give, that when we set our question paper, whether
Yes.
let it be of internal assessment or university assessment, when we set the question paper, the question, suppose I ask something from question number, unit number 1. In that case,
Yes.
I must mention along with my question, this question addresses which CO, because CO is for that particular subject. Say, for example, I write, after learning this, a student will be able to understand, and some basic principle I have given. And my question in my paper is, explain, how do you describe? So there are particular verbs given in Bloom's taxonomy to measure that. So my question will be like that. Define. So that will be something related to memorizing or understanding lower level. Suppose my question is regarding some evaluation or analytical skill. Then if some numerical I give, calculate, evaluate, then how will you find, distinguish, classify? If I start my question with this type of work, then I will say that, okay, my CO, that student will be able to analyze. So I will say that that CO is attained. If I write that I want to have student will be able at higher level, say third year or fourth year of undergraduate program, I am setting some syllabi and setting some question paper. So there if I write design, I use the word design. I write the word justify. Entropy of the universe is increasing, justify. So if such type of questions where judgment, evaluation, it means I am asking higher level. And my CO will also mention that after learning this course, students will be distinguished between something, say suppose three different things are there, or student will be evaluate, or student will be critically review. If this type of my COs are there, then my question will be with those verbs evaluate. And when now it is little bit complicated, but I will try to explain how to measure attainment. Now in internal assessment, I have got a class of 60 students and I have put a question about evaluate or distinguish, and 80% of the students attend that question successfully. I will say that, okay, I will set my own level that if 80% of students are able to answer this question, I will say that attainment is of level 3. If 70-60% students are able to attend that, I will say that attainment is 2. If less than up to 50 to 60 is their attainment is 1. And if less than 50% of the students are able to answer, I will say that attainment is 0. So I will rank. Who will give us whether it should be 0, 1, 2, 3? It is the teacher. What should be the basis? Should be for each batch is heterogeneous and different. And if we see that the result of student in earlier examination, average result is say 60% passing. In that case, I will keep the target little bit less. If certain subject we know that results are more than 90%, then attainment target should also be high. For certain subjects, suppose in general result is 50% for a mathematics or some difficult. Generally, there are few subjects which we call them difficult subject and passing is less. In that case, target set will be less. Now we have the teacher has to set the target. Teacher has to set internal assessment paper with these verbs, and we have to analyze the paper that how many students are able to attempt and solve that question successfully, and depending upon percentage of the student successfully doing that, we will say the attainment up to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is then average we will find out. Now it is for internal assessment. My matrix maybe I may take quiz. I may give some assignment. I may give some group project. I may give individual project. And for each project, I will write my COs. Why I am giving this assignment? What is I am expecting student after undertaking this assignment? And how many students are able to successfully do that assignment, successfully do that project? That is how we will rank them 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will say that, okay, that much CO is attained. Now for internal assessment, you will find it is very, we can do it because everything is under control. But in university examination, we don't know which student has attended which question because there is choice. So some student may attend one question, some student may not at all attempt first question, they may attempt fifth question. So there, some average we have to take on course result only. That is why in NEP implementation, they have asked us to take internal assessment to 40% and university external exam only 60%. Earlier it was 20% internal, 80% external. Now it is 40% double internal assessment and 60% reduced from 80 to 60. That is the reason, because attainment to measure attainment through internal continuous assessment is easier. And that attainment, measurement and calculation of attainment is to be done by individual teacher for each of the assessment. Probably even during my class, if I ask through two, three questions, I should say that, okay, how many students have raised hand to answer my question? So that may be my, you can say, matrix for tool for assessing attainment. So this is how, sir, attainment is to be done. Now mapping. Now our course, whatever COs we have mentioned, we have to ensure in which domain of PSO it is mapping. And suppose there are 3 domains even in POs, there are 18 POs given. So something will be on knowledge, something will be on skin, something will be on environment. One of the subject like mathematics may not address at all the domain of environment. So that mapping will be cross. Some of the subject may be exclusively for environment and social. There probably knowledge or other component may not be there. So therefore knowledge component may be cross, but for environment and for, you can say, like communication, your culture or moral like subject. So you will find that there those POs will be there. Overall, for all the courses, suppose I have got a 1-year course, I will ensure that most of the POs are covered, and I will find the skill gap. If there is certain POs which my course is not completing, then my co-curricular, extracurricular training, skilling activity should be addressed to fill that gap. My syllabus, my curriculum may not be addressing all POs. There are 17, 18 POs, but none of the subjects, some of the POs are not addressed. In that case, we have to design our training, internship, field project, so that those unmapped, that gap is covered, and
Yes.
at the end of our program, we should be able to show that all 12 to 18 attributes which we have identified are taken care of. They have been assessed. Students have passed to the expected level. That is why we are issuing the degree certificate, diploma certificate, or only certificate. So this is how, sir, whole system is there. So mapping, measurement, and attainment, that is to be done in this fashion from assessment tool. I hope I am able to convey or to some extent satisfy Bhadure sir's query.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most of the informative session and your suggestion also. So definitely we will try to the upcoming session to implement such type of the questionnaire in the form of setting questions and explaining and defining timing.
Right, sir.
So,
So please refer
thank you
Bloom's
so much, sir.
taxonomy. It is clearly given which verb is to be used for which.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
May I ask one question, sir, please?
Oh, sir. Hello.
Sir, namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
It was very wonderful session. I am attending from last 1.5 hour. Sir, actually, as far as a few autonomous institutions I visited day before yesterday, and I am also in connect with them. What I am finding the difficulty about the implementation of the NEP. So, especially in the some additional credits, especially if I say there are 160 credits. So out of that 160, only 100 are remaining for the core, and remaining 60 are for the some various open electives and other courses, skill development, and so on and so forth. So by going through this, are we not making our core knowledge less as compared to previous one?
Sir, not at all. Why? Let me explain why, sir. Of course, sir, we are all from academics, so we will always differ. So I fully honor your opinion, but why I say that it is not. Earlier, we used to give only in academic stream. understanding and knowledge, only one domain our complete graduate programs were focused into. Now, there are 3 domains and all 3 domains have to be addressed too. And it is the holistic development as a complete, that engineer, since you are from engineering, I will use the word engineer. Sir, skills, fieldwork, apprenticeship, everything is expected to be from our chosen field. Suppose you are from electronics telecommunication, internship is expected in electronics telecommunication. Even field work is expected in related to electronics telecommunication. So skilling, training, whatever credits are expected, vocational training, internship, they are supplementary to our main academic stream knowledge. It is not apart from it. Third thing, what generally we call it as co-curricular, extracurricular, or ethic and values. Engineering profession, if is not ethical, he can use the technical knowledge to blow up twin towers also, or he can use it for making life comfortable by providing network to everybody on the earth. Both way. So
Right.
here role of moral and ethics play important in PSO, because it is not that only he has to gain knowledge, he has to have moral and ethics also to use the knowledge whatever he has gained. So again, we cannot say that moral ethics is away from our core knowledge. And if you see the distribution, you will find not more than 10% is on that. Almost more than 60 to 70% is through our core subject only. Only thing, earlier we used to deal only in one domain. Now we are covering all 3 domains. Skills, vocation is also part of our mainstream education only. But along with academic stream, vocational stream has to be integrated. Otherwise, one example I will give and stop. During COVID, we all engineers were experiencing on WhatsApp that our friend who is automobile engineer used to ask, sir, आपके पास कोई मोटर मैकेनिक है क्या? मेरी गाड़ी 2 महीने से बंद है, चालू नहीं हो रही है. Automobile engineer. We used to find that electrical engineer used to call, कि सर कोई रेफ्रिजरेटर वगैरह ठीक करने वाला है क्या? अभी कोविड में बंद है सब, मेरे घर का वॉशिंग मशीन या तो some electrical appliance, refrigerator is not working. Sir, we are very good in academic stream, but unfortunately, with the education system through which we have come, we were very poor in vocational or doing the things by our hand or in our own chosen field. So this is being taken care in NEP. So please don't say skilling training is not a part of our core or it is diluting core. This is what is my opinion, sir.
Right.
I fully honor your opinion also, which is different than what is mine.
No, sir, but I got clear one idea. Implementing through this NEP process, it is more practical oriented as compared to the whatever previous curriculum we were having. I think so. It is more practical oriented, I suppose, because field visits are there, then internship is there. So whole process is completely more practical oriented as compared to the previous, I suppose.
Yes.
Right, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Any other question or query? I think now questions are over. So I would like to express my sincere thanks on the behalf of UGC HRDC to our today's guest speaker, respected Professor Marathe sir. Sir, once again, thank you so much for such a wonderful session. I would like to thank all participants also, because without them, it is not possible to conduct any webinar And you will be, all participants, you will be given feedback link and e-certificate also within a couple of days. So thank you so much once again to one and all. Thank you, sir. And
Thank
now
you.
here I declare that
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
webinar is over. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, madam.
Asad sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Within a